Hey guys, it's San and welcome back to the BulbaSquad. So today we're going to be tackling this topic again with the bubble, except I'm going to do it in my normal style video. And I'm just going to quickly run through everything up to the point that I believe is very important, which is going to be roughly the bull trap denial and return to normal phases. Reason for it is that's where I think we are right now. And I believe I really want to tackle the ideas of buy the dip, now's a good time to invest in modern and various other ideas in that hemisphere, because I think not only is it dangerous, I think it's very foolhardy, and people who are saying this are very likely misleading their audience inadvertently. So we're just going to quickly go through all the phases until I reach that point. If you guys want a more in-depth look at it and a more digestible one where I really take my time on each step, go watch the story about the Pokemon bubble, my one from yesterday. Keep in mind it's satire, please, I'm not trying to make fun of you. So, here we go. Right out the gate, we are at the takeoff phase. Takeoff phase is where essentially where the market really began to change and grow at a rapid speed. This is arguably Hidden Fates in 2019 or 2020 madness that was caused by everything that occurred with the virus. Knowing this, I identified this as the takeoff phase. Now, the first sell-off phase. This one is actually really easy to tell. A bunch of the old blood and old players in the game saw that stuff was appreciating by 20, 40, 50, 100, 200%. Like, vintage items were on the rise. Modern was very calm during this time. And when that occurred, they started selling off the product, thus creating a little bit of downwards pressure. So I viewed that as a sell-off. Now, the bear trap. This one's a little more tricky. So, the bear trap, I could very easily tell, was caused by the Modern reprints. Let me actually take a step back with the first sell-off. Modern did actually appreciate. It was specifically the tag team sets from the Sun and Moon era, not the Sword and Shield. Sword and Shield had not begun to move at this time frame. We are looking roughly at August 2020 and before that. So the bear trap, I would argue, is people sold off their product, put a little bit of downwards pressure on the market because of all this selling, and the Modern reprints for these sets came out and started hitting the market, causing prices to dip. Let me rattle them off real quick. Hidden Fates had 2 or 3 different reprints. Unified Minds, Unbroken Bonds, Ultra Prism. All of those sets were reprinted and scared the market. Especially with the Hidden Fates Elite Trainer box reprint. Especially when that was announced. We all thought that was a lie. Next, media attention. You might want to argue that this was whenever all of social media started blowing up, when it was news networks talking about Pokemon and that unfortunate accident that caused Target and Walmart to pull the stuff off their shelves. No, I believe media attention started with Logan Paul. He kicked it all off. We ran straight from there. He got it all going. Enthusiasm. Summed up. Poke investors, Poke rich, Poke flipping, all these little things. Everyone thought Pokemon was the next great investment. Greed. Easy. Vivid Voltage came out the gate, skyrocketed to the moon, everyone thought it would keep going up, and finally it crashed down whenever they finally reprinted it. Delusion, easy. Everyone is buying at whatever price they want to, because they think in 10 to 20 years it's going to triple or quadruple regardless of what they pay. Who cares if I pay quadruple MSRP? It's going to be worth quintuple MSRP in like a few minutes, so we're good. New paradigm. Not trying to throw shade, it's just the best example I have. I'm sorry, Cardinal, I love you, man. Go check out that channel. Pokemon prices will never go back to the way they were before. Okay? Everyone thought that's what everything was going to be like. This is the new normal. Now, where it matters. Denial. Denial can be characterized by people refusing to acknowledge that there is a decline in the overall interest in the hobby and the prices. And that is very easy to tell. Battle Styles, Chilling Grain, Shining Fates, even Champion's Path. As early as that, you could start seeing it. Vintage prices dropping. And that leads us into the bull trap. It's easy. Buy the dip. Buy the dip, everyone. Papa Rudy's saying it. PokeNav is saying it. Every player in Modern is saying it. Buy the dip. I don't think they're wrong. They're right. I think they're wrong. I don't think this is a case of buy the dip. In their situations, they have the money to just buy it at every point in time and dollar cost average it all the way to the ground. The average person is not in Rudy's situation where you can go, all right, I will buy Battle Styles cases at $500 ship. I'll pay your shipping. Send me all your Battle Styles. Okay, I got 500 boxes of Battle Styles now. That's not the average person. Average person is, I can buy one case, maybe, of Pokemon. I guess 2, 3, like the upper echelon is when we start looking at it. That is why this is a bad idea. If you're in the Rudy situation, quite frankly, it doesn't matter. My information's kind of useless to you. You've got enough money to not care about these ideas. So, the bull trap. I think this is where we're at. We're somewhere between the bull trap and denial. Let me rephrase that. We're in between denial, the bull trap, and return to normal. Return to normal is market had a decline, easy, Battle Styles, Chilling Reign, Shining Fates, Champion's Path, even Vivid Voltage. And this is the new normal. Except it's not. Evolving Skies is still extremely expensive. This is something that historically has not happened with sets. If we go into the PWCC research department and you can look at all these prices back at sets when they released, they would be at under $100 for months, years even in some cases. That is why I don't think we are at normal. Remember, Pokemon printers, they're coming. They're still not quite here, but at the end of the year, it's all done. They're all here. Which means, Evolving Skies, Celebrations, what is it? V Fusion, I think is what that new Mew set is. All of those sets are going to be very heavily printed. And when that starts to happen, Modern is really going to start to feel the pain. The reason I'm so anxious with Modern, I don't want to move into it yet, is it still feels inflated to me. Look at the singles prices. PSA is not even into November yet with the economy submissions. Which means they do not have the majority of the garbage cards or just ultra modern cards such as Rainbow Rare Pikachu's, Shining Fate singles, Battle Styles, Chilling Reign, Evolving Skies even. They're not even close to getting that started. And if the singles market is inflated, I do not care what Rudy and PokeNav and all of them have to say about the idea of intrinsic value doesn't have to be correlated with box price, because it straight up does. Initially, they are 100% correlated and they go up and down. It's with time that they begin to deviate from one another. So right now, what's going to happen, most likely, is intrinsic value is going to start plummeting once all of these submissions begin to come back, causing the box prices to drop. And if you purchased above set box prices, congratulations, you will be either losing money or your opportunity costs will be skyrocketing as you have to buy more product on the way down. Especially, my God, the amount of money you'll have to sink in if you are purchasing at the incorrect times in order to dollar cost average it down to a healthy number is going to be terrible. It's going to be absolutely awful. And honestly, I have changed my way of thinking. I used to think if I can buy a $500 case at release, and then I stick it in my closet, wait until 2 years from now, it's going to naturally trend towards the $600 mark. While that is true, 20% annually, 10% annually simple interest, no compounding, you're going to beat that in the stock market with dividends, most likely. Most likely, you got the odds of that. So I changed my mind. I want to wait like a year, 2 years to purchase my positions and things, unless if we have anomalies like Ultra Prism. So, back to what I was saying. Once all this begins to happen, think about it. Return to normal, new paradigm. It makes sense that so many people think like this. Because actually answer me, like down below in the comments, tell me, when did you guys rejoin the hobby? I rejoined in February of 2020, which means I've only ever been exposed to this and I had to go digging for this information. But others who didn't go digging, this is all they know. They think, oh, these are absolutely inflated prices and they came down a little. All sets are super expensive at release, when that's just objectively false, and that's incorrect, and we know that. When this begins to really normalize, get to a good level, it's going to induce fear. A lot of people are not prepared for the absolute roller coaster that's going to come with prices as PSA begins to come back, as everything opens up. You can argue if it'll open up or not. Okay, that's fine. I don't care. as general interest in the hobby is dying, because it is. It's obvious. If general interest in the hobby wasn't dying down, not saying the hobby's dying, just that we were up here, this is our normal, and we're here, that's still perfectly healthy. But clearly, there's a gap in between these two spaces. General interest in the hobby is dying, easily shown with battle styles, vintage going back to normal, pseudo vintage is still pretty calm. We have all these sets coming down. Even Evolving Skies is dropping as we more into release we get. Knowing all this, fear will start to set in. People will start panic selling as their cost bases are too high. $140, $160? Well, you buy the Celebrations Ultra Premium Collection for $350? Congratulations. You're 60% of the way to this. To this generation's Ultra Premium Collection, and this is 5 years old. You've already clocked in 3 years of appreciation. Congratulations. And so, the next step, we will hit capitulation, where people will finally surrender and they'll just start taking the losses because they don't want to get any more losses and they just want to put it somewhere else. They want to wash their hands of Modern and be done with it. Perfect example, look at Rudy. Remember what he did? Trying to sell Evolving Skies all day long, $76 shipped, take the loss, didn't work, threw it all in the bathroom and gave up. Capitulation. Rudy has a different mindset now because he messed up back then and now he just kind of throws it into it. But a lot of people are going to go through exactly what Rudy went through with capitulation. And then we'll hit despair. Now, I have heard very valid criticism, so I want to clarify this. People say there are very few people who can accurately determine when to purchase when we get near despair. The whole idea is get a gauge of what you think the bottom is. Put some dollar amount and try to time it around that area. Let's say the absolute bottom for Celebrations ends up being $1 a pack. Okay, $1 a pack. Well, then now it's $2 a pack. Perfect. You're now within a good window because it'll be $2, $1, back to $2. Let's say that's what ends up happening. Just buy between the $2 and $1 and you'll keep averaging it down. And the moment it begins to trend back upwards, congratulations. You caught it on this little downward trend, so you don't have to worry about grabbing any more. That's the idea I'm going for. You don't have to time it perfectly, you just have to time it to some extent. Just have some idea of what's going to happen. Really do the due diligence because you are able to predict what Pokemon's going to do in the short term. Looking at human patterns, what the past couple months and year have shown us, what people's spending habits have been. You can really tell these things. And now, once we go through all of this, we hit the new mean. Hitting the new mean is our new normal. We don't know if this will be 5% above where it was last year when it all started, 10, 20, 50, 100% above where it was, but there will be a new level. Maybe it'll be Modern itself, from what I've been able to tell over the past years. Ultra Modern always goes back to the same level it was before. $90, $100, $110. $110 usually being the upper echelon when it comes to card stores. Now, where the real changes stay, and you can tell, is sets that are no longer Ultra Modern. I consider Ultra Modern in rotation. The entire Sun and Moon block is out of rotation. Knowing this, I theorize that where we will see the permanent price changes, and they will actually stay elevated because it is genuine supply and demand working itself out, is the Sun and Moon block backwards. Because when we look at the Sun and Moon block, the supply is dramatically smaller than the demand of what we are now witnessing. XY era, exact same thing. XY era, I purchased Ancient Origins booster boxes last year for $130 shipped, and then they went to like $700 and something dollars. Breakpoint, I bought $120. Went to $530. Perfect example. These price levels changed. Modern will return to where it was. But every time we've hit this cycle, from what I've been able to tell, the prices always return to normal in Ultra Modern after a while. And if you're in that area and not buying as it's almost to the bottom, you get burned. But if you're playing in the other areas, the ones that experience growth because they were at the time ultra modern, and now they're becoming kind of older, just modern, even drifting into the realm of pseudo vintage, that's where the prices stay elevated, and that's a surprisingly safe area to mess in. I say surprisingly because a lot of people are very worried about the Sun and Moon block being reprinted, which is entirely valid because of the Sun and Moon base ETB thing. And just giving you my quick thoughts on that, don't think it was an actual reprint. I think they repackaged it. Makes perfect sense. Booster boxes are seeded. That was proven because you can map the box. So next best thing, how are you going to repackage all this to get rid of it as fast as possible? Congratulations, throw it in ETB. Clearly those sales have been increasing. That is the fastest way to liquidate your inventory. There you go. So, those are my thoughts. Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think I am overanalyzing this and we cannot apply the concept of this being a bubble to this idea? Or do you think maybe I'm just wrong on trying to time the market at all? Like, maybe I'm wrong everywhere. Who knows? Just tell me your thoughts down below in the comments. Tell me, what do you think of this idea? Where do you think we are? Are we in denial? Bull trap? Return to normal? Maybe we're still at the new paradigm, or we've already entered fear. So, again, down below in the comments, you want to support the channel, Patreon, $1 a month, and come join the Discord if you guys want to. Subscribe, it's nice. But that's it. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.